Hello students, today we are going to start the third chapter of your textbook, that is matrices. Why I am starting this chapter? Because it's very important for your board exam also and UPSC exam also. I hope all of you have downloaded textbook from the net. Okay, so while the class is on, I want you to open your textbook. Okay, now we are starting matrices chapter. Now from this chapter, nearly 10 to 12 questions, nearly 10 to 12 marks questions you will get from in the board exam. So now first we'll see what is matrix. What is matrix? Matrix is singular form and matrix is what? Plural form. Now next one is what? The order of the matrix. Order of the matrix. Next one is what? Here order of the matrix. Next, types of matrix. Okay, types of matrices. Types of matrices. So now let us see what is matrix. Now let us discuss with one example. Let us discuss one example. Say Varun and Vineet, they go for shopping and they purchase some pencils and pens. Say Varun purchases 3 pens and 5 pencils and Vineet purchases 4 pens and 6 pencils. Now we'll only take the numerical part, that is 3, 5, 4, 6. Let us enclose them in what? A square bracket. Now this arrangement of numbers is called what? Matrix. Or we can say that the matrix is an ordered rectangular array of numbers. Okay, I'll repeat. A matrix is an ordered rectangular array of numbers. So these numbers are called the elements of the matrix or entries of the matrix. So in some books we can use this symbol also. So means we can write the matrix in this form also, or we can write in this form also, that is 3, 5, 4, 6. This also represents what? A matrix. Okay, so these numbers are called what? The elements of the matrix. So always the matrix are denoted by what? The capital letter or named as capital letters. So let us name it as the matrix A, that is 3, 5, 4, 6. Okay, let us name it as matrix A, 3, 5, 4, 6. Now in this, now here the in these two types of elements are there. Now we can see that this one is called the horizontal line, that is the elements of horizontal line. These are called what? The rows of the matrix. Okay, so this is what? The row 1 and this is what? Row 2. Okay, and then vertical line of elements are called what? The column matrix, that is columns of the matrix. So that is column 1 and this is called what? Column 2. Okay, so in total here in this matrix there are 2 rows and 2 columns. So vertical lines are called what? Vertical lines of elements are called columns and horizontal lines of elements are called rows. So in this matrix there are 2 rows and 2 columns. Now so here we write it as, here we can write this as, it's a matrix of order 2 by 2. Okay, 2 by 2 means the first number shows what? The number of rows and the second number shows the number of columns of the matrix. Okay, so please remember the first number shows the number of rows and second one is shown number of columns. So this is called what? The order of the matrix A. Okay, order of the matrix A. Now let us take one more example. Say the matrix B, -1, 2, 3, 0, 5 and 7. Now in this matrix there are 2 rows, okay, and 3 columns. Okay, so the order of this matrix is 2 by 3. So we don't read it as 2 into 3. So we read it as 2 by 3. So therefore the order of this matrix is 2 by 3 because there are 2 rows and 3 columns. Now the elements of this matrix are -1, 2, 3, 0, 5 and 7. Okay, so this is what the 2 by 3 is what the order of the matrix B. Now let us take one more example. Matrix C. Okay, so matrix C here, x minus 1, 0 and x. So this is also what the matrix. So the order of this matrix is 2 by 2. Now let us take one more example. Now in this, suppose if only one element is there, then here this order of this matrix is what? 1 by 1, because only one row is there and one column. So this is what the order of the matrix. Okay, now let us see in general how it can be represented. So here A is equal to Aij, where Aij, the order of the matrix is what? M by n. Here what this suffix shows, here Aij means what? The element lying in ith row and jth column. Ith row and jth column. So let us write it. That is A is equal to, that is A11, A12, A13 and so on A1n, because this is first row and nth column. Similarly, second row, first column, second row, second column and so on, second row, third column and so on up to second row, nth column. So similarly, so we write it as mth row, first column, mth row, second column and so on up to mth row and nth column. So the order of this matrix is what? M by n. Now what is this 1 1 show? That is, if I write A11, then A11 is an element lying in first row and first column. Element lying in first row and first column. Suppose if I write A32, means this is what? The element lying in third row and second column. Element lying in third row and second column. Okay, understood? Now if I write Aij, then this is what? The element lying in ith row and jth column. Okay, so please remember what is the order of the matrix and what is this suffix. Okay, now suppose if I ask you to find the order of the, if there are 8 elements, okay, if there are 8 elements in the matrix, 8 elements in the matrix, then what will be the possible, or what will be the possible orders of the matrix? Okay, if I ask you to what are the possible orders, means here the number of elements is given, so what will be the possible orders? It can be 8 by 1. Okay, the order of the matrix will be 8 by 1, means 8 rows and 1 column, or 1 row 8 columns, or 4 rows 2 columns, or 2 rows 4 columns. Okay, so these are what the order of the matrix if there are 8 elements in the matrix. Okay, if there are 8 elements in the matrix. Okay, you understood? Now suppose if I ask you to find the order of the matrix if there are 5 elements. Okay, if a matrix has 5 elements, okay, if a matrix has only 5 elements, what are the possible order of the matrix? Okay, what are the possible orders of the matrix? So what will be the orders of the matrix? It can be 5 by 1 or it can be 1 by 5. Okay, 5 rows 1 column, or 1 row 5 columns. Okay, so these are what the possible orders of the matrix if there are 5 elements in the matrix. Okay, now you want me to write the elements. Suppose let us take here 5 rows and 1 column, or 1 row 5 column. Okay, let us write one row. Now A, B, C, D and E. Now what is the, now 1 2 3 4 5, and what's 1 row and 5 columns? See, 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, now 5 by 1. 5 by 1 means what here? A, B, C, D, E. So what is the order of the matrix here? 5 by 1, because 5 rows are there. 1 2 3 4 and 5, and then only one column is there. So 5 by 1. So this is what these are what the possible orders of the matrix if a matrix has 5 elements. Okay, if a matrix has 5 elements. Now let us discuss the types of the matrix. Okay, so here first let us discuss the types of matrices. Types of matrices. Okay, so now first one is what? The column matrix. Okay, first one is column matrix. Now let us see what is column matrix. Column matrix means if a matrix has only one column. Okay, if a matrix has only one column, then it is called what? A column matrix. It can have any number of rows, but the number of columns must be only one. So here 3 by 1. Now let us take one more example here. Now suppose here A, B, C, D and E. Now what is the order of this matrix? 5 by 1. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 rows are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the number of columns is only 1. So therefore, a column matrix means what? A matrix having only one column. Okay, a matrix having only one column, then it is called what? A column matrix. Now, in general, how will you write the column matrix? That is A is equal to Aij. Okay, A is equal to Aij is a column matrix of order m by 1, because here the order of the number of columns will be always 1. Okay, we can say that is a column matrix. Okay, is a column matrix of order. Okay, of order m by 1. Okay, is a column matrix of order m by 1. So therefore column matrix means what? A matrix having only one column. There is no restriction for what? Rows, but number of columns should be only 1. Okay, so this is what the first type of matrix, that is column matrix. Now similarly row matrix. Row matrix means if there is only one row. If a matrix has only one row, then we can say that it is a row matrix. Now so for example, here A is equal to here 1, 2 and 3. Now what is the order of this matrix? That is 1 by 3. 1 by 3, because how many rows are there? Only one row. And how many columns are there? 1, 2 and 3. So therefore here the order of this matrix is 1 by 3. So row matrix means what? Row matrix means what? Matrix having only one row. Okay, only one row. How will you write it in general? That is A is equal to Aij. You can use any letter. You can use Bij. Okay, Aij. Here 1 by n. Okay, 1 by n. So here 1 is what? The number of rows. Here number of rows is only 1 and number of columns is anything. It can be anything. So therefore it's a matrix of row matrix. In general, how will you represent row matrix? That is Aij. Here is a matrix of order 1 by n. Okay, 1 by n. Now so this is what the second type, that is row matrix, and first one is what? The column matrix. Okay, so now let us see what is square matrix. Third one, that is square matrix. So square matrix means here if a matrix, if the number of rows and number of columns, if they are equal, then it is called what? A square matrix. Now you see, suppose for example here A, B, C, D. Now these are the elements of the matrix. Now how many rows are there? 2 rows. And how many columns are there? 2 columns. The order of the matrix is 2 by 2. Okay, or let us take one more example. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0, 9. Now here the number of rows is 3 and number of columns is also 3. So the order of this matrix is 3 by 3. So therefore here A and B are called what? Square matrix. So in square matrix the number of rows and number of columns are equal. So in general, if I write, if A is a matrix of order m by n, if it is a square matrix, then we can see that it is a square matrix is of order 2. Now you see order of n. Now you see here A is equal to what? Here the order of matrix A is 2 by 2. So we can say that the order of this matrix is 2 only. Okay, and here this we write it as 3. Means what? Here, what is the meaning of this only 3? Here the number of rows and number of columns are equal. You have to understand that the number of rows and number of columns are equal. So in general we can write it as here a square matrix can be represented as Aij m by m, or you can use n by n also. Okay, is a square matrix. Okay, is a square matrix of order. Okay, of order m. Okay, of order n. If you are using letter n, then we can write n by n. The order will be n. Here B is a square matrix of order 3, and here A is a square matrix of order 2. Okay, so now we have learned square column matrix, row matrix, and square matrix. Now we have learned 3 types of matrices. Okay, now next one, in this square matrix, let us see what is principal diagonal. Okay, what is principal diagonal? Now a square is the principal diagonal exists only in a square matrix. Okay, principal diagonal exists only in a square matrix. So now let us take here -1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now the order of this matrix is what? 2. Okay, or 2 by 2. Now which one is called principal diagonal here? That is here the left top to right bottom. This diagonal is called what? The elements lying in this diagonal, on this diagonal, are called what? The principal diagonal elements, and this is called what? Principal diagonal. Okay, or we can say that this is a principal diagonal elements. Okay, principal diagonal elements means what? The elements lying, elements from left top to right bottom, that is -1 and 4, are called what? The principal diagonal elements. Okay, so here the principal diagonal elements are what? -1 and 4. But for other diagonal there is no name. So only this one is called what? The principal diagonal, and the elements lying along this principal diagonal, they are called principal diagonal elements. Okay, now let us take one more example. Say now the order of this matrix is 3 or 3 by 3. Then the principal diagonal elements are A, E and I. Okay, the principal diagonal elements are A, E and I. Okay, now please remember this principal diagonal elements. Okay, now next one is what? Diagonal matrix. Now let us see what is diagonal matrix. That is fourth type, that is diagonal matrix. Now diagonal matrix is a square matrix. When the matrix is said to be a diagonal matrix, if all its non-diagonal elements are 0. Okay, if all its non-diagonal elements are 0, means what? Suppose B is equal to, okay, 1, 0, 0, 2. Okay, here principal diagonal elements are 1 and 2, non-diagonal elements are 0, 0. So this is what an example for non-diagonal matrix. Now let us take one more example. Say here 1, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 3. Okay, so this is also what? An example for what? Diagonal elements, the diagonal matrix. Okay, so this is a matrix, this is a only diagonal matrix. When we can say that is a diagonal matrix, it should be a square matrix. First of all, what? It should be a square matrix. Okay, so the order of this matrix is what? 3 by 3, and this one is 2 by 2. So when a square matrix is said to be a diagonal matrix, if non-diagonal elements are 0. Okay, if all non-diagonal elements are 0, then we can say that it is a diagonal matrix. Okay, now next one here, or in general we can write the diagonal matrix as B is equal to Bij m by m is said to be a diagonal matrix if Bij is equal to 0 when I is not equal to j. Okay, you understood what is I is not equal to j. I is not equal to j means what? Here this is what? The element lying in first row, that is A11, and here it is A12. Here it is A11, here A11 and A12. Here this is what? A1, the element lying in first row and second column. So here I is 1, j is 2, so 1 is not equal to 2. So therefore here here all non-diagonal elements are 0 in what? Diagonal matrix. Okay, so this is what the example for, these two are examples for diagonal matrix. Okay, now next one is what? Scalar matrix. Scalar matrix. Okay, so scalar matrix we'll learn in next class.